Oops. Hi Tarot friends, it's Ultraviolet Morgan, and I'm going to do a flip through of the Victorian Romantic Tarot. Now, this is basically a first look, first thoughts flip through. Even though it's not an unboxing because it's been unboxed. So it is not going to be one of the videos for the unboxing, chance to win the 10 card Celtic Cross reading. So just to let you guys know, this is, and aside from that, I haven't done a video in a while, and I thought I wanted to give you guys some good content. So this is the Victorian Romantic Tarot. It was a gift from the Tarot Oracle, and it comes in this, it came in this really beautiful box. So there we have the box. It's wood, obviously, which actually is really nice, but it makes me more nervous that this could get broken than a cardboard box. So, for reasons we never really figured out, there are 2 extra cards. They're not alternative cards. They're the same card. I mean, I don't mind. I guess they just had to print, you know, you get those 2 extra prints. So, you know, they're just extras. Whoa, okay. Those were not the ones that were extra. Actually, there we go. What it is you get an extra Emperor, an extra Devil, and there's a 3rd card, so you get this cover card. The Victorian Romantic Tarot, designed by Karen Mahoney and illustrated by Alex Yukalov, Baba Studios. So Baba Studios is Karen Mahoney and Alex Yukalov, which I think they're a married couple, and they make these amazing decks, and Baba Studios is basically the 2 of them. So all the decks that you see by Baba Studios will be by them. You get this very small book, which is probably more, you know, I'm sure it's sufficient. Actually, I haven't looked through it too much, but I do actually was surprised with such a small book that they have an introduction, and then they have learning the tarot. So they actually do have information for beginners, and this is talking about the basic energy of the numbers and the suits, and then how to do tarot readings and tarot spreads, which I just feel a lot of times, even in the bigger books, this information is glossed over or left out, and you just get, here are tarot card meanings, you know. So there's some spreads that were designed for the deck, and then it goes into the major arcana, and it talks a little bit about the major arcana, and then a little bit on each card, just some keywords, nothing major. To me, I think this is actually really good when you're learning, although it is nice to have a breakdown of showing how the symbols are chosen and how to think about the cards. But I also like the concept where you're giving a lot of people find that it's not enough for them, but I like being given a little bit of information because I feel like the real work of learning tarot happens between yourself and the cards, not what's written on the book. But that's me. And then when you look at the minor arcana section, they talk about the minor arcana itself quite in depth. And then they also talk about each suit, so they explain the energy of the wands. And a write-up on the energy of the cups, the swords. None of them have quite as much information as the wands, but that's okay. And the pentacles does have a decent amount of information. And then their court cards are separated, which can be a hassle, but They also talk about the pages, the knights, and the kings and the queens, so you can understand the energies of those. Oops. And then it just ends. So it's actually for a tiny little white book. I think it's really nice. So let's talk about the cards. The Fool actually reminds me a little bit of the Fool on the Nicoletta Ciccoli tarot. Which shows a fool, shows a toy standing on top of a drum, I believe. So it's kind of like beating to the beat of your own, marching to the beat of your own drum or whatever. This isn't a drum, but it's a very similar sort of precipice that he's standing on. And we see he's a circus performer. And he's willing to be the fool in order to entertain the crowd, make his dream come true of, you know, being in the circus, of being a performer. So we don't necessarily think about this, but you do really put yourself out on the line when you're willing to look foolish in order to further your goals. So that's my thought on that. The Magician, I love this Magician card. This is Victorian, but it looks ancient to me. I love how he's in his bed. He's not even standing, which is really a new take. I need to know. I don't think he's sitting. I suppose you could say he's sitting. Oh, I guess he is. To me, it looked like a bed. So I guess he could be sitting in a chair, but it looked like a bed. This could be a pillow if you want to picture it. Imagine it being soft, but then now I see that it's probably a chair. And this is probably his legs. But when I first looked at it, I saw him as being on a bed. It's just me, and these were blankets, so. More likely, yeah, as I look closer, it looks like a table, but it's just interesting because he's in a different posture, and so that kind of gives you something a little different to think about. Why is he sitting or lounging, and how does that, like, what does that kind of tell us, I guess? And he appears to possibly be a necromancer. I really love this skeleton over here, skeletal figure. It's got a little creepiness to it. He's got his book. This gigantic, I don't know, ball of twine is interesting. Marks on the floor for summoning. So, very cool. Low battery mode.